If you're in the tech industry, there's probably no way you haven't heard AI being talked about a lot lately. And Meta is doing the same thing. Recently, one of their top executives, Andrew Bosworth, was talking in an interview about how they recently made their generative AI team. Him, Mark Zuckerberg, Chris Cox, all the top execs are spending most of their time working on AI right now. What does that mean potentially for the future of VR, XR, and the Quest 3? Nothing has been confirmed yet as far as how these features could make it onto the Quest 3, but some of the ideas of what they've already designed has been showed off in some demos and makes for some compelling case uses, especially for an XR headset. A recent innovation nicknamed SAM for the Segment Anything AI segmentation model actually allows AI through the use of cameras to see objects and recognize what they are. So this opens up a lot of possibilities in the ways of like accessibility. Someone who can't see very well using XR glasses could then be told what an object is that's out of their range of vision before they even walk up to it. They actually have a video here of some really funny case uses where ingredients could even be recognized when you're making a recipe or suggesting recipes of what you could do with that. Imagine wearing your XR glasses, opening your cupboard at night thinking, what should I make for dinner? It recognizes your food and comes up with some dinner ideas for you to make them. Some other potential case uses, or even if you're trying to learn a second language, imagine an app that instead of looking at your cat and noticing, hey, that's a cat, it says gato, helps you start to learn what that word is in another language. The possibilities are absolutely endless, but how do you feel about this movement towards AI lately in the field? People talking about the future and how we need to be more careful with it, because obviously like every cyberpunk movie thinks that somehow AI one day is going to take over and kill us all. It's an interesting thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. Apple's future VR and XR headsets have been rumored and delayed and rumored again. Here we are, the CEO Tim Cook is again talking about it in interviews. Now, the latest rumors have said that they are going to reveal the device at WWDC in June, although there have been others saying that it may have been delayed again to the end of the year. They're still thinking we will see some news about it in June. An interesting discussion here. Tim Cook was talking about how the future with an XR device could be even better than the actual real world. He was talking about how this could really change the way people communicate, the way people connect with each other, and just like how the iPhone has changed the world, revolutionized it. However you feel about that, it's what he said, and it's a pretty indisputable fact, I suppose. Obviously, at least that smartphones have really changed the way the world works. But he's saying that XR headsets could do the same thing, allow us to achieve things that we were never able to achieve before. Imagine even something as simple as your walk to work or something. You could have someone beside you in XR. They're not really there, but that time would no longer feel like a waste if you were talking to a loved one in those few minutes you had, and it would feel more like you're actually seeing them. There are, of course, a lot of critics about XR in general, about technology and people's connection, but something that I've seen recently, even in going out in public, it's interesting how even though a lot of times people at dinner table might all be on their phones, they're using that to still connect. They're showing each other, hey, look at this thing I found, or this funny thing. They're still sharing in the moments with each other, although they're each spending their time on their device. But in something like shared XR vision with all of us, you could pull something up on the table, a 3D model, a video, whatever, that everyone could see at the same time instead of passing around a phone to show off your pictures or videos. I do think the future actually could feel more connected again if we steer this XR ship the right direction rather than continuing to make people feel more isolated. What do you think? UploadVR Showcase is returning this summer in June of 2023. Now, for those of you out there who haven't heard of this or what this is, think about like the gaming awards or like PlayStation State of Play, but UploadVR does this showcase over the entire VR industry where they reveal new game trailers, new things coming to VR that are exciting. It's an interesting event and something you might want to mark your calendars for once we have an actual date. But if you are a developer out there and someone that's interested in, they're actually letting people apply right now to be part of the showcase. I'll leave a link in the description here to how you can get involved in case you are someone who has a project that's coming out this year that you want to tease, show off, or even release your final trailer, as there's been times at the showcase before where they've shown off the whole new game trailer for a game that we didn't even know was coming. So for VR enthusiasts, it's an interesting event, something that could probably use more exposure when the time comes. When it gets closer and we get an actual date, I'll update you for those of you who want to be there, and maybe we'll even stream it actually so that we can discuss it together. As we are seeing more and more apps come out for AR headsets and XR, we're seeing more and more possibilities to learn real life skills without the use of traditional lessons. Another one here is an AR app that allows you to use an electronic drum kit to turn your drum kits into a rhythm game that will actually help you hone your skills at drums. Now, this is something that's been out for kind of a while in different iterations with instruments and learning. There's been tons of different piano apps that have been out for years now, actually, that help you learn the piano through the use of AR, because it allows you to see your real hands, the real instrument, but then overlay on top of it, helping you to do this. I like the idea of this app because it's gamifying it a bit more. It's making you have a good time, so you're learning the skill without necessarily having to realize it's a lesson. This is something, as the Quest 3 has already promised, it's going to have the same color pass-through that the Quest Pro has. This is something that we'll see a lot more people able to lean towards and use, because people have done this on the Quest 2, but having that gray smeary pass-through, it's not quite the same as seeing the real world through it. Although I will say I hope that the Quest 3 is a slightly clearer, better version of the Quest Pro's pass-through, because as we've discussed before, the pass-through on that is a bit rough. If you play a lot of Quest 2 standalone or PSVR, PSVR 2, there's probably some FOMO going on about Vertigo 2. Vertigo 2 is a recent PCVR game that has come out, the sequel to the original Vertigo, which was largely applauded, but now Vertigo 2 has been getting all kinds of great ratings. 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. People have been really impressed by this game, not only because it has one of Valve's employees at the head of it, but because it was largely made by that one person. Compared a lot to games like Half-Life, this game puts you fighting your way home through robots and alien-infested science facility, and just like the first game, you are following that same type of plotline, but now there's additional worlds, life forms between you and trying to get home to your version of Earth. The game is out at $30 only on Steam. There is a demo on Steam if you want to check that out. The ratings so far are considered very positive, which is really good for a game on Steam, especially a VR game. This game has been getting compared to games like Half-Life Alyx and other great PCVR titles, but I'm curious, those of you out there who do mostly Quest standalone, did this even hit your radar? Is this something you heard about and obviously were disappointed if it's only on PC? I'll be honest, with me, with the PSVR 2 and the Quest 2 and the convenience of standalone, I don't hook up my gaming PC and play VR games on PC as much as I would like to anymore, but this is one that definitely looks like it's worth getting everything hooked up and back in to check it out again. With all that said, what else is going on out there in the world for the news for you? What are you excited about upcoming with VR? Obviously, with Apple hopefully in June, Quest 3 hopefully in October. We got some big things to look forward to, but I'd love to hear in the comments what you're hoping to see by the end of the year. Thanks for coming out and being with me again today, and I will see you in another reality.